Hello everyone, MCZaphelon here, back with another video for HOI4. Today we'll be looking at the achievement guide for Tojo shot first, as Japan nuked the United States before they developed nukes. The reason I'm looking at this achievement is because Paradox posted a challenge for this achievement to do it as early as possible. Play as Japan on Iron Man mode. Let's go. Let's talk about the broad strategy here. What we'll do is focus tree wise is go for the Showa restoration here in the non-aligned path because it gets rid of the research debuff on militarism. Also down here is German rocketry, which gives you another 7% research speed. I thought it was only for rocketry, but it's actually a blanket research buff, so that's what you need. This path, I recently did another video on it, makes you sign a non-aggression pact with China. However, you can break the non-aggression pact, and after that China will provoke a war with you. That will be late 1938, a year later than Marco Polo usually fires, but then by that time you don't have the Marco Polo debuff and you can just steamroll China. This focus here will allow you to join the Axis. When that succeeds, you can then join the World War II from the Western Theater, naval invade the UK, finish off France, and then in the peace deal, grab Canada. From Canada, take out the United States, annex them, puppet them, whatever, and by the time you develop your nukes, you release them not as a puppet but as a free state, justify Wargle on them, and they will not have developed nukes, and you can easily nuke them. That is the broad strategy. Research-wise, there are two things that are very important. The research bonus, you need to stack these completely, and of course the nuke technology itself. 1580 days, and we're going to leave these two open. I'll show you a thing or two about tech juggling. Other people have mastered it more, so I've left a link in the description to 71 Cloak's video on tech juggling. Since we got 2 years to build up, we'll start with a series of civilian factories, and we'll start with this production line for now. The fleet we can finish, there's no real need to focus on that. We also start building an intelligence agency right away to create a collaboration government in China, and we'll not take a focus at the start to bank more political power. You can just go for the Showa restoration if you're not in as much of a hurry as I am. However, there are two things I need with my political power, or actually three. I need the nuclear scientist, I need to go to free trade for the research bonus, and I need the electronics concern here to get that research speed up even faster. To keep this video short and simple, I'm not going to show you the optimized way to use the army. Trust me, if you build up a decent army, you'll be able to take out China in 1938. 5 speed, let's go. Alright, so on tech juggling, you can see now that these two research slots each have 30 days of blank research inserted into them. So what we do now, 1551 days, let's remember that. And we'll go into machine tools and switch over. 1 day of previously saved research will be transferred to the new technology. This is only 1 day because of the incredible ahead of time debuff. Now we use this one and go to the atomic research, and we can see that we saved an entire whopping 3 days. Actually, we saved up 30 days, but because we're 4 years ahead of time, that's discounted to only 3 days. We'll do the same with mechanical computing. This one is a lot faster now. Now you can do this again and again, but there are complicated calculations involved when you're doing ahead of time research. In short, you're getting more and more efficient if you do this later, so by the time you're finishing this, if you're in the last 100 days, it pays off to have the other research slots available to juggle some more. First 100 political power, and we'll take the nuclear scientist. He gives 15% research speed. Now at first I thought it wasn't working because atomic research wasn't going faster at all, but of course we're doing ahead of time research. So first you get the debuff for atomic research being 4 years ahead of time. Then that 15%, which will only amount to 1.5% research speed, but it will be there for the entire game, so we'll take it. Doing support the Kadoa faction gives us 100 political power, and we want to go to free trade, which will cost us 187 political power. So we'll bank a little bit more political power and then we'll just take the focus. Young officer coup, and we have turned non-aligned. Let's do Showa restoration for the research bonus right away. Gather up that final political power and go to free trade. Now free trade as Japan is really a bad idea. You're lacking all resources and Manchukuo can only do so much. Next up for our political power will be to aim for the electronics concern to get that research speed up even faster. And we have the Showa restoration. We'll continue down this path to technological exchange right away. And my spies are getting to work on collaboration with governments in China. 150 PP, electronics concern. And here is Mitsumasa Yonai, our silent workhorse. And now you can just fill up with whatever. I'd like to get an army offense expert, and do not forget about this nice little gem here. Prioritize steel for guns, where you get 4 military factories basically for just a lack of ship output. Technological exchange is coming up. One thing to look out for is to use diplomatic pressure on the Germans, just in case they do not like us enough, and improve relations. Here's technological exchange, and we will set our differences aside for now. The Emperor of Japan joins the Axis. We will get the war goal against the Soviet Union and get German rocketry next. Now you can send your stuff over to Germany if you like, but we have some business to do here first. And German rocketry. Already heading into 1940 computing machine and 22% research boost. And even more German rocketry. Next up will be our national research policy. Challenge the Saibatsus. It's November 1937. We can cancel the non-aggression pact if we have enough troops on their border. Luckily we have some reserves here. And here we go. Cancel non-aggression pact with China. It has served its purpose. First batch of military civilian factories is done, and we'll build some military factories. 25 army experience. I got the professional officer corps first to, well, get some more experience. Going to edit the main template, remove 2 infantry, replace 1 infantry with artillery, and add support artillery. These guys will do for the big push. We'll convert the entire first army to the Hoai Sedan, and I'm going to convert 3 of these guys to Marines and the rest to Hoai Sedan. Deficits we'll have to fill up, and we'll have to retrain. These guys are over here and we'll do naval invasion along the coastline. Victory points of China are all on the coast. Well, most of them anyway, and with 90 or 100% collaboration, that will be mostly enough. Another 10 XP and this reserve template, give it a different icon, and give them support artillery. Just a little bit more punch. And that's the 5th research slot. Going for imperial arsenals up until spiritual mobilization is a very good way to get your economy even better. Arms factory sabotage, that means China has gone into the tree or decisions or whatever to get a war goal. For me, Chinese provocation. Mobilize troops and prepare to go to war is the only option here. We now have war goals against the Soviets, Communist China, and China. This is an alternate timeline, no Chinese united front, so we're just fighting China. And we are fighting China. We're also immediately launching our naval invasion here. I'm going to not attack this much here, but try and encircle Beijing. That should be possible. And yes, it is. 4 divisions encircled. The Yellow River is blown. Well, that certainly sucks, but nothing we can do about that right now. And the fall of Nanjing. China's on 93%. With regular China on the brink of collapse, this is a good time to declare war on Communist China. Nanchang taken, and here we are. We'll puppet China with war reparations and resource rights, and we'll take their navy. Yan'an here is the real target. Now you can put your troops on the border here and be prepared for a really long struggle. But what you really want to do is to have the Chinese break their encirclement. So I'm putting my reserve army here on this line. I'll put my motorized somewhere over here. Now none of these guys can railroad because of the extreme flooding, but that's alright, they'll get there eventually. I'm moving the big armies, the HOI4 templates, over to the main ports, and they're going to be shipped over to our friends in Germany. And the fleets can go there as well, because Germany is already doing Molotov-Ribbentrop. Troops are getting somewhat in position. This is what we're aiming for. We're going into Yan'an itself. We only need to pin the rest, and this is our breakthrough point. That's Yan'an, and that's China. We'll just make our Japanese China a little bigger. And now we'll get ready for our push into the United Kingdom. Now if you're like me and you're a completionist and you want to complete the rest of China and your conquest, build some supply hubs here, connect them with railroads, and connect the Yan'an thing with railroads too. And we're adding support anti-air and medium flame tanks, which I'm also building, to the main template. Supremacy of will is done. It's 1939. I would like to get my air force going, so I'll go for the agility focus next, and then I'll build up Manchuria. Germany's already doing Danziger War, so the timing of this strategy is quite tight, but that's just the way I play it. If you think you're not as fast at conquering China, you can just ignore the war goal for the time being. You'll get some sabotage events, but you can survive. Put your troops in place in Germany and attack the UK first, then take care of China. Preferably do the USA before China even. Poland refuses German ultimatum, and we're almost in position. One army will invade the UK and the other one will be at the Dutch border to invade when necessary, only to grind a little bit more war score. Germany has the war goal against Poland. They're not using it yet. Ah, here they go. German Reich declared on Poland. I'll wait just a few moments until I get all the orc back. And pretty please, can we join your war on the British? Since I want to grab war participation here in the UK, I'm going to set all the supply here and not available for my allies. And here is our atomic research part 1. We'll continue with the next 1130 days. Germany declares on the Netherlands, so we'll send the attack order for this army to go. More participation. I have to reload to actually see that. Encircling London isn't the holy grail of war participation it used to be. What is very useful is eliminating troops, and for that reason, another thing I've developed is keeping Plymouth alive and surrounded, so the Brits have a place to place their reinforcements. And finally, London surrounded. Let's clean it up a little bit. France has capitulated. Naval invasion southern England, Benelux region. Now we're fine. Hey, this is actually working. They are landing their troops here. Reloaded. 38%. It's perfectly acceptable. More than enough to get Canada, which is the prime target, and I also want to get the UK. Since we're almost done here, we'll start justifying a war goal on the Philippines. 105 days. We need to move over there. Yeah, it's fine. The earlier, the better. Well, all of the UK has been conquered and cleared. Time to end this. United Kingdom has capitulated and we have a peace deal. First things first, we need a Canadian puppet. So let's start there. And then we'll just take the United Kingdom. Going to add war reparation and resource rights here. And just for that purpose, we're not going to just give them the UK and the Northern Ireland, but we're also going to head near and make sure they at least get this one here with the 100 rubber Cylon. And after that, it's just whatever you want. We took a few islands and we have a Japanese Britain, Japanese Raj, some stuff here which we can immediately give to return territory, and they can also have the other stuff. Stronger puppet is better. And we'll prepare immediately for war with the United States. One thing to do there is to slightly improve the railroad system in Canada. Justifying on the Philippines, but we're also going to do Guangxi Clique just to complete China eventually. Here's a justification for the Philippines. Alright, it's been long enough. Let's declare war on the United States. Call in Canada. Let's start off with a nice encirclement. Fall of Washington, no events, sadly. Collaboration government done, and we're at 99%. US has capitulated and will puppet them with resource rights and war reparations. Japanese North American territories. Now for this plan to succeed, we need to nuke the US. That means integrating them, annexing them, and then releasing them as a free state, not as a puppet. I'm going to skip large parts of the video here. The main part of the quest is done. We need a lot of research and we have time left. I'm not going to conquer the Germans, that's far too risky. Might get me bogged down to 1945. I'm going to help them with the Soviets, and I'm going to conquer some large industrial nations like Vichy France, nationalist Spain, Sweden, possibly Brazil, and maybe Turkey. Fast forward. Oops. America has been released as a free state, justifying a war goal, and we're getting close to the nuke. It's very dubious that I'll be breaking any records here today. Current record is November 24, I think, but I might be lucky to get December. There's some juggling room here, and I can't say I'm lacking nuclear facilities. I've been doing this for a while now. I've been conquering nations left and right just to build nukes. This is my bonus for research. As far as I know, there is no way to improve this. I'm quite sure someone else found a way though, because I've been beaten. Justification is complete. There's no reason not to go to war, really. Better just do it before I forget about it and I lose the war goal. I need more nuclear reactors, but I'm out of build slots. Oh wait, Sakhalin. Some of the islands here. Combat casualties. Where am I losing guys then? 28 November, the nuke is ready. Or at least the technology. And how fast do I build one? 4 days. I'm not going to make November. Even with the nuclear, I have 91 nuclear reactors and still taking so many days to actually build one. I may have been able to shave 1 or 2 days off, but someone knew a trick, I don't know. It's a fair win. December free will have to do. New York, New York, goodbye. December free, 1944, and New York has been hit. Well, that would have fired you the achievement if I didn't already have it. And here comes the event. A day late, but we have the timestamp. The atomic bombing of New York. Well, that was an interesting campaign. We got the achievement and pretty good time actually. I'm not unhappy with that. It turns out people got it in November 1944, so I was beaten. That's no problem. I'm good, but I'm not the best. I can live with that. If you like this video, please take a moment to press like, subscribe, or even leave a comment. It helps me get the video recommended to other viewers, and I need those other viewers. Thanks a lot and see you next time. Bye bye.